Hi! It's Thursday, and it's beautiful. Good morning. Thanks for listening to the show. Yeah, already messed up. Not even 10 seconds in. That's okay, because I'm real. And that's the way I'm always going to be for you guys. Real quick shout out to Angus McLaren, one of our subscribers on YouTube. Appreciate you. You've been listening to the show, and really appreciate that. Appreciate your support, and thank you to everybody who's subscribed to us on YouTube so you can watch our beautiful faces as well. Our new followers on Instagram. I don't know, have you guys checked our Instagram?
I have. Yeah. There's some cool things happening on there.
There are. Now, if you follow us on Instagram, we have added a new thing called Feel Good Mondays. Because we go on a little break for a couple of days in the week. We can't post every single day. But on Mondays, I basically post all my feel-good stories and feel-good posts that I find. And they range from a lot of different things, from cute animals, cute babies, funny people falling, a quote that might energize you to get through the week, Because you know how people feel about Mondays.
Monday fun day.
Monday fun day. Not for a lot of people, though, Peyton.
No,
believe it or not.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know how people do things in Tulsa. I'm from Tulsa.
Where you're from?
Yes, I know. I am aware of what I said. I am very aware of what I said. Real quick shout out to somebody asked us on YouTube the other day, and we'll respond to you. Helena, she spells her name interestingly. Heleyna. I don't know how to pronounce that. Helena, right? That's Helena.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made it confusing. So I'm gonna blame Helena for that. She said, "Love this." It was our Sarah Gilman episode, which I had a really good time with Sarah last week. It was a lot of fun. And she said, "You should have Sophie Reynolds back on." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's been a while since Sophie Reynolds came on." Do you guys remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All right. You guys are super talkative today. I love it. No, I'm kidding. Real quick. Any other business we have to do? No, let's just get into it today. I'm really excited for our guest. I want to talk to him about a few things. He is who I would consider a alternative music sommelier. I think that's a good description of Mr. Nick Major. Yeah. And that's who our guest is today. Nick Major, and he has a show here on Idobi. I believe it's Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time called The Nick Major Show. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Nick. All right. Oh, the outside mics weren't on.
They were.
They were?
Should have been.
Welcome. You're sitting here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Check. Oh.
Yeah, we got some music as you come in.
I love it. Cool.
It's fancy.
My mic is falling on me.
How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that we locked this in and are doing it.
Yeah. You're a busy guy, so I'm glad we can make it work.
You seem like a busy man, too. I see you popping up, doing TV stuff. I will forever love that you and Brett Davern were both in that episode. That was the coolest thing that I had ever seen in my life.
Oh, my gosh. Real quick, we usually film this, so if you want to put this just a little down so people see your handsome face.
Thinking.
Because it annoys me how handsome you are.
That's right.
I'm going to say that right off the bat.
I hear that constantly.
Yeah, what are the chances of Brett and I working as both guest stars on the same episode of a show?
Of a show, I know. And you had some accent going on, too, didn't you?
Yeah, I was foreign.
Nice.
Yeah, it was very foreign.
Very believable.
Thank you.
Nice job. But that was just the craziest thing. I thought that was epic.
He threw up on me.
I know. And that wasn't even scripted. He just doesn't like you and wanted to vomit on you because my face brings happiness. Yours makes people sick.
It does.
So I'm just kidding. Handsome man. That's why you're booking the roles.
Is that I know you couldn't hear me out there, but I described you as an alternative music sommelier.
Yeah, that sounds fancy.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Do you know what a sommelier is?
It sounds fancy, so I'll take it, but I don't know.
Sommelier?
Sommelier. Yeah,
Apparently
sommelier.
you don't know what it is either.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you, Michael. Yeah, sommelier. It's a person who is like a grand master wine taster, where if you like blindly give them any glass of wine, they can tell you all the flavors in it, what year it was made, where it's from and what the weather was like.
And I can do that with alternative music.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I hope you're not going to put me to test with that and play all these random things. You'd find out I'm not as... But I'm definitely heavily involved in that world and have been for years. It's been my love, my life, my passion.
I did a brief Google background check on you.
Nice. What pops up? Does good stuff pop up when you Google?
Not much. Damn. Not much in general. It's all good stuff, but it's just not much. I know you worked at Hot Topic.
I worked at Hot Topic years ago, yeah. That's how I got my start in the music world.
Right.
Working at Hot Topic one day, and then a guy walked in. He had a good chat. We had a good chat together, and then he introduced himself as the owner, the founder of Alternative Press, the music magazine.
Yeah.
And I grew up reading that magazine. And so I stayed in touch with him because I was like, this is a cool opportunity for something. They were developing a video department, and they were looking for kind of a face and a host that could do interviews for them. And in staying in touch and sending them these terrible mock-up demo videos, they brought me on board, and I worked with them for about 4 years.
Dude, I fucking love that tenacity.
It was cool, and that's what we come to LA for, though. I feel like if you're in LA, you gotta take those opportunities and see how far you can go with them.
I knew I'd like you. I knew it. Now, where did you learn that? Was that something that was kind of like trial by fire, or did you have like a teacher or somebody, or did you read a lot of books to kind of guide you into that kind of tenacious, attitude?
I always wanted to come to Los Angeles to just pursue the entertainment world to some extent. And that's what brought me out here in the first place, was me wanting to do that. My whole family, they live in Reno, Nevada. I'm the only one that ever left home. And I came out here to follow that. And the way that I just always saw it is, if you're going to make the move to LA, because even still to this day, I have friends who I have made out here, and I just see them not working towards what they want to do. They tell me what they want to do. Oh, I'd love to do this or that. And then you find out they're not doing it. And it's just like, whoa, why are you out here in LA then? You're wasting your time. So for me, it's just always... It's never been questioned. Like, I've just always known, like, if you're going to be out in this city trying to follow a dream, you got to work hard. You got to work hard and take those chances. And I would say it's kind of just been a coming of age, my own things, just trying to get what I want to do in life. And I know that you got to work for it.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've experienced that same thing when I first moved out here.
Yeah, where are you from?
Raised most of my life in Oklahoma.
Okay, so you made a big move and came out this way at some point, and
yeah.
So you know all about the hustle and just working hard to make it happen. You don't get on TV shows with Brett Davern without trying.
No, that's for sure. And I was very surprised, like you were, at the amount of people who were kind of just coasting. I was like, well, what do you do? Like, I know, like, you probably work a lot as a server to the other actors, but I'm like, what do you do in your free time then for acting? You know, people would talk about, oh, I need to get headshots, and it'd be that same conversation for like 6 months down the road. I'm like, why haven't you gotten headshots yet?
Oh, I have friends who are a couple years in, and I'm just like, you've been here for a few years, and it's just to work at a restaurant, which is fine. I won't. People work everywhere, but it's when I know in their downtime, when they're just going out partying, or if they're just like sleeping and they just hang in, and I'm like, you should use that downtime to just work your butt off, because you get one life.
Right, and it's okay if like you do that and you like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and that is the lifestyle that some people embrace and love, and that's what they want. That is what makes them happy. But it's just the ones that I know are telling me all these huge things they want to do, to where I'm like, let's do it then. Come on, I know you can do it. You just got to put yourself out there and do it.
Well, I actually know a couple guys who love that kind of lifestyle, love drinking, like, and worked as bartenders, and I think some of them were servers. And at a certain point, they're like, why don't we just open up our own bar? And they have like a chain of successful bars here in town.
Oh, see, that's the way to do it. They found out what they love with drinking, and they took it somewhere.
Yeah, and just having a good time, and they've evolved as people, and now they don't like party as much, but they're like financially stable, and they're doing their own thing. It's very interesting. That always fascinates me, what causes people to go down certain paths and what causes other people to be, other paths, like I don't want to say non-successful, but kind of like the coast, because it's easy to coast in Los Angeles. It's not easy to coast in New York City, I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel like you can only for so long. Maybe you can, but I know people who have coasted for quite a while, but they always end up going back home or something if they end up coasting. But I guess that is true. But yeah, I couldn't do that. I want to just live life to the fullest in LA, doing the LA things and the entertainment.
It's just a natural thing that was always in you.
Yeah, I think so.
That's awesome.
I think so.
I grew up listening to a lot of punk and like metal music, and I remember the first time I listened to a rock song that I was like, this is me. It was Nirvana's Teen Spirit, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like what like there's something about this that's like speaks to me, right? And then this goes back to when you were working at Hot Topic. Who got me into this band? Was it my friend Landon Morris at the time? He's like, you got to listen to this band called Avenged Sevenfold. Are you familiar with them?
Oh yeah, of course.
And he was like, you got to listen to a song called Second Heartbeat. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's where like I started like hanging out. Whenever I'd go to the mall, like Hot Topic would be my first place. I'd want to buy all the band shirts. And I don't know, it was a cool place to like express myself, I guess you could say, because my parents, I grew up in a very disciplined household. I should say that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm always interested in what, I don't know, attracts people to certain things. Just naturally, you know, because everybody's a little bit different. Have you always been attracted to like alternative music and like rock and stuff like that, or just music in general?
Because the first real band obsession that I got was Blink-182, and that's back when I was like in third grade. I really got into them, and so that kind of opened up that world of like the whole Warped Tour world and just all the bands kind of in that scene, in the alternative scene and the Hot Topic scene, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was definitely the music that I've always been into, is like the alternative, the pop punk, the punk. Back in my high school days, I was really into like metalcore. That was a big. That was a big thing back in like the late 2009, or from like the mid 2000 to the 2000 teens. I never know what to call those eras. The 2000 somethings.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah. I was obsessed with that band, for example. That was my favorite metalcore band when I was when I was in high school and coming out. So
Plagues is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's classic. That's their old stuff.
Yeah, and then was it Roots?
Yeah,
Above?
with Roots Above and Branches Below. Yeah, one of my favorite albums.
I listen to that when I work out or I'm running up the mountain.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that stuff pumps me up.
Last year I saw them play it in full because they did a 10-year anniversary tour for it, because it's been 10 years since it came out, and I interviewed Mike beforehand, the vocalist, and that was so cool for me because I loved that band for years. And so last year they played it in its entirety down in at the Glass House.
Wow. How is he, the lead singer?
He's cool.
Yeah?
He's really nice. Yeah, he's always been nice. It's always funny because it's those guys when they're screaming their heads off and they look scary, all covered in tattoos. What are they going to be like in person? But he was a really nice guy.
I asked because I love his lyrics, because you read the lyrics and they're like...
Oh, yeah, and I know all their
poetry.
songs by heart. Yeah. I know all of those, from Plagues to Roots, Zombie EP, but then I didn't keep listening to them after that too much.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That also... I don't get upset with the band when they evolve like that. I appreciate them for what they did, and if I like their music whenever they continue, great. If not, it is what
then
it
fair
is.
enough. Yeah, I agree.
It's the same with Avenged Sevenfold. I was like, oh, wow, that's very interesting how you guys have evolved. It's not as hard as it used to be at all. I think the last album was their self-titled album that I really liked. It's just called Avenged Sevenfold. It's like the White Album.
Did you ever see them live?
Actually, they are, I think, they were my first live show I've ever seen, and my only. And it was when they had the Rev.
Oh, and it was the only time you saw them. I thought you've only been to one concert.
Yep.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like a real band. Like I've gone to like smaller band concerts, but
really,
that was my one and only.
Damn, and Rev was there.
And the Rev was there, and I'm gonna tell you, it was an amazing show.
What year was that? Do you remember? Because they were the first Warped Tour I went to in 2005. That's when I saw them.
It had to be when I was in college, so between 2006 and 2009. Somewhere between then.
All right, that was a good era. A good era to see them.
Yeah. And I didn't understand when bands did encores, you know?
So you're like, all right, they're done. Let's get out of here.
No, I was like, oh, that was a really good show. And whenever they came, everybody was like still there cheering. They came back on. I was like, oh, that's really nice of them. Like, I was like, oh, that's...
What a special thing for us. I can't believe you've never been to like a big show, though.
I don't like crowds.
Oh, my God.
I wanted to go to Tool here in town.
That'll be a crowd.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with that album. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check out their latest album.
Yeah, and it came in, I think it was #1 when it came out, and I believe it dethroned Taylor Swift in her second week of being #1 or something like that, and her fans were not happy about that.
Yeah, there was a whole debacle about that. But yeah, I wanted to go see them live, but it was very off-putting knowing that there would be other people there.
From what I hear, they have quite the following, so... There may have been. Unlike me, like I was so stoked because the first band I ever saw in concert was My Chemical Romance. Wow. And then yesterday I got tickets to their LA show that's coming up in October, and I was thrilled about that. I can't believe you don't like crowds and concerts.
I want to be on the wings. And I want to see them perform that way.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
I don't know. It's just there's too many people. I get annoyed very easily with
People
stupidity.
with stupidity.
Yeah,
Crowd surfers hitting your
crowds.
head.
Yeah, I think I've. Yeah, I can't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me a little. Well, I don't want to say anxious, but I'm just like, there's too many people.
If it's not for you, then you definitely don't want to go to a Tool show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel though, from the videos I've seen, they're a lot more mellow than like a real metal show. There's no mosh pits or something.
And I'm guessing their crowd is probably a bit of an older crowd. Maybe not.
Maybe I don't know. I
But
really don't know.
yeah, I guess I would know. I've never seen them live, and I've never looked up their live stuff. I think their music's great. I'm not like super into them, but
Yeah.
you got to check them out at some point. I feel like they're one of the ones because like the band that I would say does the best live show ever, and they're not even anywhere near my top favorites. Is
Yeah.
Slipknot. Have you heard of Slipknot at least?
Yes.
They're,
Have I heard of Slipknot?
well, you've never been to a concert. How am I supposed to know? But it's definitely the best production I've ever seen. It's just fun.
I'm amazed that they have like 7 band members.
Yeah, and they do. And there's things spinning around. There's like chainsaws going. There's
Oh, Rammstein. You know Rammstein.
Oh, Rammstein. Yeah.
Oh, dude, their live shows are like.
And they're coming here later this year. I know.
Oh, whoa, wow. They're like a theater. It's like watching a theater show whenever they perform.
That's a band. I'm surprised that band is because they're huge. They are massive, and I'm most surprised how because I feel like everyone only knows that one song.
Du hast?
Yeah, I think that's the one song that everyone has known, and they somehow sell out arenas still. But from what I hear, they're pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. They sell out. They sold out some Coliseum, I think, or
They sell out stadiums. They sell
Yeah.
the biggest places out. They're huge. They're absolutely massive.
it's really interesting. Yeah. I've always been an AFI fan as well.
I've seen them a couple times. I've interviewed Davey Havoc before, and that was really cool for me.
Oh.
He has this like punk band. I forget what it's called, but I interviewed them, and I already forgot their name. It was 5 years ago that I chatted with them, though.
Yeah.
But they're talented. They are a talented band.
I would love to have him on this show and pick his brain.
A smart, well-spoken guy.
Right?
Yeah. I've seen them live a couple times, and they're always amazing. Yeah, God, you need to go to concerts. I want to sell out. I want to buy venues for you and just bring the bands so you can just watch them live. It's so fun to watch the people perform the music live that you love on the albums.
It is. I that is a very selfish thing, but I would love to be in like an empty. It doesn't matter how big or how small, but just perform for me, like some weird emperor.
Yeah, bring them over to the Idobi studio. Just have them
actually
over in the video. There you go. We got them set. We'll film it for them and give them a little something fun to show for it after.
Oh my gosh,
Davey Havoc, if you're listening, come on out to North Hollywood.
it'd be cool to hang out with him. That's for sure. Sing the Sorrow was one of my all-time favorite albums.
Oh yeah, fantastic album.
Oh, the hidden tracks. I miss hidden tracks on CDs.
Yeah, I was just talking about the other day with my girlfriend. I remember when a song would play out and it would be silent for minutes, and then something would kick in at the end. Those were the days. I miss the CD days, just like the movie browsing days, like the Blockbuster. It was just always fun to go and do that. And kids nowadays will never know it. But it is very convenient to have everything just on your phone and ready to go. But there was always something fun about being able to just walk into a store, browse through it, kind of blindly choose something. I'd base it off the cover. I'd be like, that cover looks cool. Let's see. I'll pick that up. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
That's how I found The Used, who ended up being one of my favorite bands of all time. I was just looking at an album cover I thought was cool.
There's one song that I like from them. It's the Earth and
The Bird and the Worm.
Bird and Worm. There you go.
It doesn't even have the word earth in it, and I knew you were trying to
Earthworm.
say.
I think it was.
Yeah,
there's a
that's what it
connection
was.
there.
The earthworm and the bird.
Oh man, do you think that let's take the example for the Blockbuster days when you have to go in there search.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that since it was such a process to get it and such a risk that we would enjoy it more even if it wasn't that good? Just so we can feel like, okay, I got my money's worth.
You'd watch the whole thing at least. Nowadays on Netflix, it's so easy. If you don't like it, you're like, next one.
Yeah.
Next one, that wasn't good. But there were some terrible movies that I thought looked so cool because the worst movies always had the coolest looking covers because they were really trying to catch your eye to be like, this movie is terrible. Let's make a great poster for it.
Yeah.
And I definitely think so because you had to pay for it too each time. You had to pay for it every time you rented it. And yeah, I was in Oregon on this weird ferry cruise for a week over the summer, but when we went to these little towns that didn't have very many people, they all had video stores, and so I went inside of them just to relive being in a video store, and it was so nice and nostalgic. But it was interesting because they had like little tabs, and they would tell you if it was on a streaming service or if it wasn't, to kind of get you to be like, rent this one because you can't find it on Netflix and it's not on Hulu. And I was like, that's an interesting approach to try to get people in, because now you can go to the movie store to get stuff that you can't find on the streaming services.
Where was this?
There was a couple cities in Oregon, and I don't remember the name. One of them is where they filmed Twilight, and and Goonies. They filmed them in this town, but I forget what the name of it is. But it was just small little towns off the riverbank, because I was on this little paddle boat ferry cruise.
Alaska still has the last Blockbuster, I believe.
They do, and it's not actually owned by Blockbuster. It's like a franchised one. That's how it's managed to stay open, because I don't even know what exists of Blockbuster anymore.
Yeah, I think it's gone.
Yeah.
But because that town can't get fast internet, if I'm not mistaken, or some kind of
Yeah, I remember reading something like that.
yeah.
The last one is in Oregon.
Oh, it's in Oregon.
Oh,
The two in Alaska
Oh, and they closed down. Yeah, that's right. And it's in Oregon. So apparently Oregon's got something with movie stores. That's where I just visited a couple. I went to one that had beer that they served you inside of it. Pretty cool. And then, yeah, I remember hearing that now. It is in Oregon, because the last few actual Blockbuster ones were in Alaska.
Wow.
I miss those days.
There were
too,
3 of them, and 2 of them were in Alaska, but those 2 closed, making the one in Bend, Oregon, the last one.
And I think they're doing a documentary on that or something. I saw like there was someone starting like an indie GoFundMe thing or something like that to do some documentary on the last Blockbuster.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
We'll check it out. We'll come back and talk about it.
Yeah. I see an Odyssey video store here
Yeah, it's right around here.
somewhere.
Right? Yeah, I think it's right around this area.
That's not like an adult film.
I can't remember. That one might be. I can't remember, because I know there is an adult video store that I've seen somewhere around here. But
You mean right on Lancashire? No, I'm kidding.
right on here, and I have a membership there, and it's actually a good deal.
No, yeah, and I'm like, how do you guys make a profit? Is this a front for something? Those kind of stores and the psychic stores.
And mattress stores. Who the hell buys from a mattress store? Who?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the amount of mattress stores around.
Yeah, the amount. There's hundreds of mattress stores. They're always empty when you drive by. They're clearly a front for something. Every mattress store is working in cahoots with some drug cartel. Actually, I have no idea. That's just what I...
No, but the thing about this, mattress store, maybe. Psychic? How much are you pulling in a day? I know you're on like Van Nuys Boulevard, or not Van Nuys. Yeah, Van Nuys Boulevard, right near Riverside.
Mm-hmm.
That's some expensive real estate.
Oh, and I always think that too when I go by the psychics, but I never put it past people. People do spend money on that stuff. I see more people going into psychics than into these mattress stores that are on every corner.
I want to have one on the show. I want to have a rude psychic so I can tear them apart.
Proved. Do you believe in that stuff?
Here's the funny thing. I do. But I believe 99% of them are charlatans and fakes. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way there's that many psychics.
Oh, I don't believe any of it. So to me, I just think it's funny because I'm just like, come on, what are you people doing?
No. I believe in mentalism. There's also something called like being a mentalist. You know, there's
What's mentalism? What's a mentalist?
they do that thing where they're like, okay, this is a horrible example if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, so I don't care about the comments. They'll be like, all right, I want you just to, think of like any shape, just think of like any shape you can think of. And so they'll do something, obviously that was very obvious what I was doing, like a triangle, but then you'll be like, oh, okay, I'll think of a triangle. I'll be like, oh, you're thinking of a triangle. Kind of
They'll be like, think of any shape that you can, whatever that shape is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rectangle.
I always go like octagon.
I know. Do some complex shape that nobody knows.
We had he was very nice. He was a very nice man. A hypnotist on the show recently.
Okay. Did he hypnotize you?
No. It did not work out.
Did he try to?
Yeah, we did it on air, and it didn't work. And it didn't work on Peyton either. And Peyton was very excited to be hypnotized.
And willing to.
And willing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was something he said, like, be willing, you have to be willing. And his thing was this. Before he started, he's like, I'm not going to be controlling you. I'm not here to control your mind or anything, but you have to be willing to do what I say. And I'm like, Well,
Sounds kinky as hell.
all right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, his whole thing is like, you just have to just pretend that it's happening.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
So
I'm lying?
right there, he's kind of already showing he's a scam. Not a scam. I'm kidding, sir. I respect your whatever.
his whole thing. Here's the thing. He was very nice, and his whole purpose of doing hypnotism was to bring entertainment into people's lives. So I was like, all right, cool. You're bringing entertainment to people's lives. And his whole caveat is like, I'm not really controlling these people. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know, it's misleading to a certain extent.
Yeah, and I guess for entertainment, that's nice. But what I don't like is when it is these celebrity or just anybody who says they speak to the dead, and then I feel like they give people, in my opinion, this is my opinion again. 'Cause I
No,
don't believe
you're
in that
right.
stuff.
I'm with you on that. That's kind of extreme.
But I just never been a fan of that. Like when they're making them think that you're talking to this dead person, and then they're saying this to you. And there was like the old TV shows where they'd have the big audiences, and they'd be like, someone in the audience lost someone who I see a red shirt. And then they're like, oh, my husband had a red shirt. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Never been a fan of that stuff. I didn't think that was too nice, but I guess people love to believe that their loved ones are still speaking with them.
I do. I feel like we need some people just need to be beat up, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying to death or anything like that, or like, permanently injured. Just sometimes you ever meet somebody, you're like, you've never had your ass whooped, have you?
Are you implying that I should have my... No, I'm just kidding.
No, like, you meet a douchebag at a bar or somebody, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're an interesting person.
They could probably beat me up, but I might think it.
No, you look pretty, I don't know, you might know something. You don't know nowadays who knows what. That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You like that?
Well-
Yeah, I just did a move. That was not a professional move.
We'll edit that out.
We'll fix
so
that in
people can
post. Yeah,
Leave the mystery.
that sounds cool.
No, but it's true. You never know who knows what nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, before I almost forgot, you said you had good news to announce.
Oh, I kind of said the good news, which was that I got a My Chemical Romance concert ticket,
Oh, shit.
which
Okay.
I was stoked about. So
I know-
hell yeah, everybody! My Chemical Romance. There we go. That was a big deal for me. I spent all day hoping that would happen. It happened. Wasn't cheap. $260 for a concert ticket. That's another reason why you probably don't like going to concerts. Is they're expensive. They're not that expensive. You're like, no, it's not the price. Trust me, it's the crowd.
I'm prime time. All right. I'm rich.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, wait, $260?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like front row?
No.
What?
It's not, and it's not even general. It's not even ideally, I wanted a standing area where you stand on the ground, but it is a seat that's on the floor, but it's a couple rows back. This is a very highly anticipated reunion. The whole tour is sold out now. They just added 4 nights. It started off with one night at the Forum, which is out here, a 17,000 capacity venue. They announced one show there, and then they announced the second show because it sold out so quick, and then they announced the third one because the second show sold out so quick, and then they announced the fourth one last night that just went on sale today at noon. Well, as of Saturday, the 1st of February at noon, and that's going to sell out as well.
Hold up. So I'm doing the math because I love money. People are gonna listen like, oh, Wesam's an asshole today. You paid $260, and so that was roughly the average price.
I say the average price is a bit more because prices were for other seats were like $900. Some prices for seats were like $600. So I would say
500.
I would say average is like 400 to 500 maybe if you're gonna put it all together.
Let's do 450
Okay, we'll
Is
do
that fair?
450
times 17,000.
10,000 times 4. And then we'll see what that equates to. And I know for their reunion show that they had out here, they made over $1 million in just the one night of their reunion show. So how much is this going to pull in?
For 4 nights, they're gonna pull in $30,600,000.
Nice. Oh yeah, they made over $10 million at their last show that they had at their first reunion show back. But keep in mind, they're going to sell insane merch on top of this. The merch numbers are really going to be where they pocket a ton of money because I know the venue's going to get a chunk of each of those tickets that sold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But when it comes to the merch, they're going to cha-ching. My Chemical Romance is having a payday.
Man, that is amazing. You know, when it's good business for a musician, it's good.
Mm-hmm. When it's bad, it's bad.
Bad. That's so freaking awesome. I'm really happy for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Fun fact: I got into My Chemical Romance because what what was that store in the mall?
Hot Topic.
No, it wasn't Hot Topic. No, it was a CD store. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
FYE. Sam?
Yes.
Yeah.
FYE. FYE was it. And at the time, they had just installed those things where you could
Listen to it.
listen. You scan it, and you get the headphones on, and you're listening. And they only had like 5 in the whole store. And I picked the My Chemical Romance 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge,
Yep.
right? Just based off the album cover. I didn't even listen to it.
It was a good album.
It was
one of my
great.
favorite albums ever.
And then I listened to I bought their first album, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Black Parade was all right. I liked a few songs from there.
Did you ever listen to Danger Days?
Nope.
That was a fun album.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah.
Is it more evolved, or is it like some of their old stuff?
It's more rocky. It's definitely because like Black Parade was kind of like this dark opera sound. I felt like.
Yeah.
But Danger Days is kind of like a upbeat kind of rock sound, kind of like old vintagey rocky almost at times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. There's so much music. Are you a Spotify or an Apple Music type of
Apple
guy?
Music.
Okay. I'm Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
You think I should change over?
I don't know. I feel like if people find one they like it. I just like that mine's an Apple product on my Apple phone already. It's easy enough. Because on Spotify, you can't... I forget. I think there's some things that you can do with your iPhone because it's on the Apple Music, but I think they're pretty well the exact same. And you get the music you want to listen to.
Yeah.
It's all cheap enough anyway. I mean, we can pay a couple bucks a month and listen to infinite music is insane. That is how the music world has changed because you used to have the CD booklets in your car. You have to try to flip through it, get the right one to put in. Not anymore. You just plug in the phone.
I know. Are you happy with the way things are now? Like
In regards to that stuff?
Yeah. And
Yeah. You can't deny that it's convenient. It's made everyone's life easier, I think, except for the musicians who don't make money. But
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's also a big problem.
yeah, but I think the internet also changed that because that really washed down the music scene. Because, I mean, back in the day before the internet was around, it was the record labels controlling what was on the radio. And so there was such a limited amount of stuff you could hear. But with the internet, it all opened up. Everyone started dropping their own stuff for free. You could just put it up on YouTube, on SoundCloud. So
Right. And also you could financially, for a lot less, make the music that professionals were making.
Oh, yeah,
especially
nowadays. Yeah, that's even how I feel with filmmaking. Because you could just go out and shoot your own stuff now with gear that back in the day you would have had to have rented from a studio that would have cost tens of thousands or bought stuff or get stuff funded. And now you can just go out and make your own little film productions, and it's great. You can film it on your phone.
When I first moved to LA, we were shooting auditions. You know, they're like, hey, can you self-tape?
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I have to have a DSLR camera, like a Canon, you know, set it up and get the lights and everything like that. Then have a good mic on there and have a good backdrop and everything. And then as the phones got better, I was like, oh, why am I using this huge
All these
camera?
extra steps.
Yeah. Just put on my phone, and the lighting, the sensor on it is amazing.
It's insane what phones can do nowadays. They do everything we could ever need them to do.
I mean, we've had HD filming capability on the iPhone for a while, and now for the last few years we've also had 4K capabilities.
Yeah, and they've filmed some full feature films on iPhones now. And I forget what the one that came out. There was one last year, 2 years ago. I think it was last year that came out, all filmed on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. Makes me kind of curious where it's gonna go, because exponentially, like, how much better can this thing get?
Yeah, I know.
The last 3 years, I think it's only gotten like just a little bit better.
And what can you keep adding to it? Like, what more can phones do that we need them to do that they don't? I can't think of anything that I'm like, oh, I wish my phone could do this.
Right.
They can do pretty much all.
I'm spoiled. I'm way too spoiled with the new iPhone, because I do that just because financially it's like a better deal to do that next upgrade to the every 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
You just upgrade to the next one.
Yeah,
or
which
whatever.
I need to start doing because I still have an iPhone 6S. So it's an old one.
Yeah.
And I have thought about doing that because that plan makes sense. They make it so affordable.
Yeah. Plus, how's your battery?
My battery is not good, but because of that, I always at all times have a portable charger with me. See? At all times, I got that with me. And it's just because it's so much nicer to have. And actually, I picked that up on Warped Tour. From doing Warped Tour days, always running around on my phone, I was like, I'm sick of this phone battery dying. So for like the last 6 years, there's never been a day I haven't had a portable charger in my pocket. And then I become everyone's best friend because of that.
Do you do the software updates?
Yeah, and it still works on mine. I don't think it's about to stop working on mine though.
Well, Apple came clean that when you update your software, it actually makes older versions, their battery usage, less efficient.
Yeah, and I read that it was because they said that they were doing that because it prevented the phones from potentially crashing and stuff because the newer softwares, they were a lot more demanding on the older phones. So they had to slow it down and pick up the battery usage for it or whatever to make the software run better, which I guess makes sense. But I remember people were in such an uproar about that because they felt like they were being lied to. But I was just like, it kind of makes sense. We're using years old phones when updates are constantly happening. And yesterday's technology is old by tomorrow. Like, it's just crazy.
There's a great quote from God of War 4 that I've applied to my life. And
Did you play the game and that's where you got it from?
I got the quote from the game because I've kind of applied this before I even played the game. But I didn't have it in a cool quote. And Kratos is telling his son, pain we will endure, faulty weaponry we will not. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Because I would upgrade my computer and like my phone because I knew I was editing like my audition tapes and everything. And I was doing a lot of them and I couldn't do it on a crappy computer that would like lag or it's like taking too long. You know, I wanted to streamline that process. So I applied that to my acting business and reaped the benefits, thankfully. Yeah.
Which is good, which is smart.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get this mic going.
But sometimes it's hard, you know, whenever you're not, you know, financially stable, and I get it, you know, for people to upgrade their equipment.
Oh yeah,
and it's tough, but
easier said than done for some people.
Yeah, and at the time when I was doing it, it wasn't like great, but I found ways around it. For instance, like the computer thing, I knew Apple did this thing where you sign up for their credit card and you get like 2 years free, no interest, and I was like, oh shit, oh great, I'll pay like $100 a month and pay it off by 2 years. So finding ways around it.
So did you get the Apple credit card?
Oh, no. Yeah, I got the Apple. No, this was like years ago before the actual Apple credit card. It was like an HSBC bank card that they had. Yeah. Yeah.
What else? Hit me with something.
That's it, man. That's all we're going to talk about. I'm kidding. How long have you been in LA actually right now?
Been in LA since 2012 is when I moved out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't believe how fast time flies by. I've always lived in the Valley. I'm in Sherman Oaks. I live like a mile from here, which is great because this is my day job, 96. I'm coming here.
Oh, sweet.
Every day. And it just makes it really convenient. Which city do you live in?
No.
Oh, cool. So you're right here in this area.
Yeah.
Nice.
When I first got introduced to Idobi, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. It's right down the road.
Was it at that location, the one next door?
Yeah.
No, nice. There used to be a Hollywood location a few years back, and it was so tiny and so small.
What?
And I can't believe what we are in now compared to that.
I know. Idobi's growing.
Yeah, this is a great location here. It's big. We got the studio there. It's great. I started doing video interviews for us. Kate, you got to check those out, man.
I have actually. They've been looking good. You do like it's almost like I don't want to say a news segment, but it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, I do have the news segments as well. But I started doing sit-down interviews with artists, and that's been really good.
Yeah, you had one with a long-haired guy. You talked about his personal problems with his father.
Yeah, I had one that was Aaron Gillespie from Under Oath, if you remember that band.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was who that was. And then I did another one with a guy named Chris Motionless from a band Motionless in White.
Yeah.
We sat down and had a great chat. And then on Monday, I'm dropping one with a YouTuber named Damon Fizzy. But yeah, remember Under Oath? They were a big band back in those metal days.
Are they still like a Christian metal band?
Not Christian anymore.
Oh, they're not Christian.
Nuh-uh. I was going to ask him about that part, but then I looked at his old interviews and everybody asks that.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I don't need to ask that again.
Yeah.
But that was cool. That was a cool, fun chat to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems life is going pretty good for you then, huh?
Yeah, it's going good. I started here full-time back in October, and I took like a little break from my video interviews, which is what I did for Alternative Press for years, and then I needed to hit it hard again because I missed it. So then I started kicking off my work here. I've had a radio show here at Idobi for 4 years, and then I also do a lot of like little filmmaking stuff, like little sketches. And so I've been kind of kicking those into gear. One goal I want to have this year is to kind of include my artist friends in those more. And I did my first one with a musician, Cody, from the band Set It Off. Okay. And it was a good one that I dropped in December. But I do these dumb little sketches. I went to film school out here. That's one of the reasons I moved out here was to go to film school.
Which school?
Northridge.
Okay.
And it was cool.
Yeah.
It was fun. Come be in one of my sketches sometime, man. They're
Whenever you
fun.
want.
They're good little productions. Have you seen them ever?
Did you do the one with Brett Davern? Are those the ones?
Those are little fun ones, but I have like much larger scale productions.
Oh no, but you
that I
did do
do.
the Brett Davern ones, right?
Those are all Madison's idea. You know Madison? Do you know her?
No.
You don't know Madison.
Mad.
She's this real. I'm just kidding. I'll keep the language.
No, say it.
She's this
That's
real
the quote
bitch.
for the show. No.
Just kidding. No, but those are all Madison's idea. But like I do like sketches like where that's one of the coolest things for me is I can get like a crew of because I used to love filming little videos when I was living in Reno growing up. But to take it like to the next level now to where I have like crews of like 15 people and like I can rent out sets and locations and I got the lights, the cameras because I own all my own gear as well.
Oh wow.
And so that just makes it that's kind of what we were talking about earlier how you can make music so much cheaper than you used to be able to. And now you can do that stuff. Like I did a sketch in a hospital, so I just rented a hospital room for it.
Wow.
And that was like so sick. I love doing sketches. I love filmmaking, the writing, directing, editing. I do it all.
Wow.
I like it.
You're a very creative person.
As are you, but thank you.
No, it's really interesting. And this all comes just naturally. This is just who you are.
Yep. It's always stuff I enjoyed. So I figured why not try to somehow make a living off of some of it.
Wow. How old are you?
28.
Fairly young.
Fairly, but starting to get a little older, getting nearing 30.
Ah. Fairly young. That's pretty great. That tenacious attitude again. I'm actually very impressed with. Not a lot of people have that. It's rare finding people like that.
Mm-hmm. But in LA, this is the place where people have that mentality. Or they don't, like we said earlier.
Not a lot. Not a lot. My circle of people are very small now.
Mm-hmm.
People I hang out with and people I stay in contact with. And everybody's like what you're describing, that kind of tenacious attitude.
Yep. Which is good. You got to surround yourself with the people you surround yourself by, that's going to rub off on you. So I think it's important to be around people who are driven, motivated, who just kind of make you feel amped to do your own stuff.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, time flies living out here.
Oh, yeah. Time flies in general. I can't believe I've been here since 2012, which is going to be 8 years now in May, which I'm just like, whoa. And I'm happy with what I've done since I've been out here. Cooler stuff than I thought I could have ever done, so I can't complain.
You've done a lot. How long have you been out here, Michael?
2010.
2010. What about you, Peyton?
End of 2018.
2018. Wow. So Peyton's the newest person.
Damn, you've never been. You've barely lived here.
Yeah, I still don't know what's happening.
This is LA? You like it here, though?
I do, yeah.
Mm-hmm. LA's a cool city.
Yeah.
I like this city. So,
I like it for work. I do.
do you want to live here forever?
No. If I had my way, I'd live in the mountains, in the woods,
Okay.
somewhere deep in the woods. Not too deep.
Make up your damn mind, bro. Because first it's deep, now it's not too deep. Where are you going?
I know. I don't want to hear my neighbors or see my neighbors or hear any cars. That's where I want to live.
LA is not the place for that.
Nope. Dude, have you ever seen the Milky Way?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a thing, because you live in a big city, right?
Uh-huh.
We get a lot of light pollution.
Uh-huh.
This is totally random, I understand. But you don't realize that there are so many more stars in the night sky. So that's why I don't know.
No, there's infinite stars. There's they say there's at least like 500 billion or something like that, or 100 million or so. It's some insane number, but yes.
It blows my mind. That's why I want to go out there and just feel small.
No, you sure will feel small. Have you seen those videos where it just starts with a person and it just zooms out and then it zooms out to show the city and then the planet and then the planets next to it and it just keeps zooming in, zooming out and showing kind of the size of the galaxy? That is insane.
My mind can't comprehend that.
Yeah, it's insane.
They did that with the Milky Way.
Uh-huh.
We are in we are in a galaxy, right? And our galaxy is called the Milky Way.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
We're in the Milky Way galaxy.
Right. And it showed you we're on one of those curved arms of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then outside of that, there's just a ton of other ones too.
And it shows you how many you're going at light speed when they're zooming out, and it gives you the number.
Yeah. That makes you
Dude.
feel small, and it makes you realize there has to be other life forms out there that we will never know.
I feel so stupid because I'm like, I can't comprehend that big enough space.
Mm-hmm. And how big is space? Where does it end? Does it end? If it doesn't, how doesn't it? Does space go on forever?
I found the video.
Oh, let's play the video to blow our minds. Oh, yeah, this is the one. So that just zooms out, and it just is so depressing.
There's no way that's the same distance, though. And there's Jupiter, yeah. Yeah, this is already blowing my mind. I can't. Yeah.
From Earth to Milky Way galaxy. No, that always blows my mind how big space is.
Yeah.
And we're just these tiny little things. We're not even a speck of dust.
No. It's. I don't know. So you said you don't believe in anything spiritual, huh?
No, I don't.
No. No, it's okay. No, I'm not judging or anything.
No, I wouldn't assume.
Yeah.
Because I don't judge anyone for. Because I've come to find that everyone has many different their own beliefs, which is great. It's nice that we can have our own beliefs.
Yeah. As long as they don't harm other people. That's for sure.
As long as they don't harm other people.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You start trying to, harmfully impose your beliefs on somebody else.
Yeah.
With ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, wow.
Not a fan of that stuff.
No, it's very depressing. Do you have hope for humanity?
Yes and no, just because things happen. First off, it'll blow my mind how, I don't know. I feel like we're going to destroy the planet at some point. All this global warming stuff, all this pollution stuff, and in my opinion, we have a president who's not as ambitious in regards to helping save the planet as he could or should be. Humanity will end at some point, and probably at our own hands, whether it's a nuclear war or us killing all of our resources on this planet, but we'll be around for a little bit. At least we'll be around until our lives naturally end.
Yeah.
But then after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think there needs to be a reset button. That's my dark input on it, because it's just it's been a pattern of governments have been controlling people in a not so great way, where there's this illusion of freedom, not just in the U.S. but other countries as well, where people think they're free, they have this free choice, free will, but it's all being manipulated and controlled by a small group of very bad people, very bad, ill intentions kind of people.
They want their power and their money.
Money, power, which is kind of like, I look at somebody who, let's say you don't agree with Trump, right? And the guy's, 70-something? He's in his 70s. Mm-hmm. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are you like fighting with people for? Mm-hmm. You're in your 70s, man.
I know.
You're gonna die soon.
Yeah, but look where he's gotten.
Sure, but then you're gonna let me repeat that. You're gonna die soon. Mm-hmm. You gonna take any of that with you? You're gonna take your Mar-a-Lago estate with you when you die?
He wants to leave that legacy behind. And Trump, he's gotten away with acting his way his whole life.
It's true.
And it's gotten him to be president. He has no way not to keep acting the way he's acted his entire life.
Right. And by the way, I am neither Republican or Democrat. There's some Democratic candidates that I'm not a fan of either. But I just find all these politicians, the majority of them, it's the same bullshit, just from a different
No, at the end of the day, it seems like most of them are.
side.
They're just kind of puppets for their parties to all push the same agendas.
And I don't see that being fixed anytime soon, because if I'm not mistaken, a large portion of funding for candidates comes from like companies, right?
Mm-hmm. Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. And the lobbyists found a loophole in which they can
that's
be the middleman.
It'll always blow my mind how we allow money to run politics in this country. Because other countries, you can't have those big companies donating millions of dollars to political campaigns.
Right.
But in this country, we have like no limit on contributions for the most part,
Yeah.
which
It started in 2010. It was exacerbated in 2010.
oh yeah,
By the Citizens United decision by the Supreme Court, which basically allowed corporations.
because it was technically freedom of was it freedom of speech?
Money equals speech.
That's insane to me, and I'll be interested once our generation gets to be kind of the old generation, and we're the ones who are in all the political offices, all the ones that grew up in this era. I wonder if that'll change, or I wonder if we'll just come to find out, well, anybody who's involved with politics, they're all just the same at the end of the day, but I guess we'll see.
I don't know. It's depressing. And it just goes to show you, by the way, I'm not saying the coronavirus is not serious. It is a serious thing. However, it's being extremely sensationalized on the news and on all the channels. It's the same thing as like the common cold. You know, there's not really a cure for it, but the people who are most at risk
elderly.
for it, elderly,
Little
babies,
babies.
people with weakened immune systems.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You know, it's like a virus. It'll come, wreak havoc on your system, and then your body usually fights it off. And plus we're not getting accurate information from China, so it's hard to really see how many people are really sick, how many people are really dying, who were those people who died, were they healthy people, were they old people, were they sick people, that kind of stuff, you know? So I think with that being said, if there is something that would reset humanity, it would be like a real serious pandemic.
That's what like Bill Gates, he's a huge advocate, and he's a big understander of all it takes is one plague to break out again to just wipe out humanity. And they always say it's going to happen again sometime. The last one was like 100 years ago in like 1919 or something. 1918.
Actually, the interesting thing about the Spanish flu is that mortality was actually higher. It was actually a really high mortality rate for those between 20 and 40 years old.
Oh, yeah? And a thing about that disease, too, is that it I think, killed between 50 and 100 million people. And it broke out just at the end of World War I. And because so many soldiers were traveling all the way back home and traveling to other countries, it was at a time when airplanes weren't around and stuff. So we can only, but because it was so many soldiers traveling back home and through countries, it spread like crazy. And now if one of those breaks out again because of airplanes and because we have so many more people, you can only imagine that it would just, boom, destroy everybody.
Contagion, that came out in 2011.
Yes, which was really good. That movie was actually really good, I thought.
That was after someone ate a bat, I guess.
Yeah, and the coronavirus, for example, they're saying that it could be linked to stuff like a bat or a snake because that's an animal where it's commonly from. And if you see these food markets in China, these unregulated food markets where they just kill animals in the wild and people's and then they just sell them in the market, it is horrifying. And these diseases break out. They have this bat soup in China that people have been eating, and they just put the full body of a bat in the soup. And then they just eat it, and then now they're saying this coronavirus is a disease found in bats. And I'm like, of course that stuff's going to spread out when you're not regulating any of this stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I think China's a hot spot potentially for diseases to break out in the future, possibly.
Definitely. There was a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience who was a scientist, and he's talked about, the polar ice caps are melting, right? Yeah. He talked about how a virus could be
inside of it that kind of unfreezes.
Right. You get like some topsoil or something, right?
Yeah.
And then this is a virus from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. Mm-hmm. And
there's no immunity to it. There's no one knows it exists.
It's biologically like totally different from us. That could literally wipe us or almost everybody out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that gets handled once something serious like that happens. Because I guess the last big one that probably happened, I know AIDS was a huge thing when that came out back in the 80s. But a couple years back, there was another scare of a virus. I forget what it was. Measles. I think it was measles or something like that. And it was going over Africa and killing a bunch of people. But we've not had a big one yet. It's only a matter of time.
No, it's slightly concerning to think about. I've been thinking a lot about death recently, especially since Kobe, but it came at a weird time for me. I've been battling some health issues. Thankfully, everybody, you guys have heard me talk about it on the show before. I'm getting better. I'm actually I feel a lot better, which is amazing. Today has been the first day I feel like my real self almost. And I was in urgent care last weekend. Yeah, last Sunday I was in the urgent care because my stomach was in horrible, horrible knots. And it was when Kobe's helicopter crash happened. And I'm sitting there in the urgent care waiting room, and they've got this TV playing with the news of everything.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, holy shit. And here's the craziest part. My friend Jonte from the show and Isaiah, we have a group message. He had just posted early that morning, a Kobe Bryant video to us. Like a motivational thing.
Eerie.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I saw that he was like, Kobe died in a helicopter crash. And I'm thinking it's like one of them's trying to be funny, or you know what I mean? Like,
That's definitely a surprising headline.
yeah, because it's like, you're trying to make a search for it. And it's like, what are you talking? And I was like, what the hell is... And then I realized whoa, holy shit. This is insane. You just don't expect it. So I'm sitting there and I'm holding my stomach and I'm watching this news about Kobe dying. I haven't really been feeling well the last few months. And I'm just like thinking about my own mortality. It can get your mind into some negative spaces.
Oh, it can get you in a dark spot real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah, I used to think about that stuff a lot when I was younger, when I would just think about how fast time would go by. And even when I was like in high school, I'd be like, God, I can't believe it's been 6 years since I was in elementary school. That went by so quick. Or I can't believe it's a new year. I'm going to be a senior in high school. And then I would just start to stress and think like, I'm going to be old before I know it. I'm going to be dead before I know it. My parents are going to die. These people are going to die. I feel like I've thought about it so much in my past that now I'm just much more accepting and understanding of that. But, I used to let those thoughts get way too hard to me. Yeah.
I think me being an actor too, I start putting myself way too much in the circumstances, like the imagination of it all, like people's emotions reacting to, like me dying or someone else dying, and I start just getting overwhelmed, and I can feel my brain kind of snowballing in that direction.
Thought after thought after thought.
Yeah, man, it's a scary place to go to. How did you get yourself out of that?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think I just thought until it drove me crazy, but then eventually I kind of started to put stuff into perspective and just have a horrible mentality of everyone dies, which maybe that's not the best mentality, but I'm like, well, that happens, so you got to just enjoy life. I mean, that sucks to focus on stuff that makes you feel like shit if you're just trying to live a good life. Everyone should be happy.
Yeah, because it helps me talking about it out loud. Because that's not healthy either, to worry about it all the time. Because the facts are this, like you said, we are all going to die. I don't think that's a negative mindset at all. I think that's a very realistic and important mindset to have.
Yeah, we've definitely made it our mankind has definitely made it a sad thing to think about.
Right. And I think that's where it lies the problem, where it's a sad thing. It's people are like, you lose everything, and that is true, but only to a certain extent. You don't lose everything. You just maybe that stuff was never yours to begin with, and that's kind of a mentality I'm trying to adopt. And especially with my spiritual faith, I kind of see everything as a rental.
All temporary.
Everything's a rental. You really don't own everything. Your bank account, even your relationships to a certain extent are rentals. Appreciate them for what they are. Take care of them. But like your house, your car, those are all rentals. Then it gets me thinking, what's the stuff that's really important? Do you have that stuff like listed in your mind? You're like, okay, this is the stuff that really matters.
I don't know. I guess if I had to choose, had to say things, I guess things that matter would just be, in my opinion, being personally happy. I think that's more permanent than anything that you can temporarily have in front of you. It's just a good mental state and family.
Happiness or inner peace?
I guess both. And loving yourself and just a lot of just being, all the avenues of being positive internally to yourself, I would say is probably the best, realist, most important thing.
Gotcha. And forgive me, I'm trying to get specific here just because
you're
I'm
good.
curious. like blind positivity, no matter what the situation is. Because you said it also being realistic too. Because I feel that's sometimes a fine line. You know, I think it's important to be positive, even in like dire situations. You got to be positive but realistic. You know, you can't just blindly be.
Hey.
Yeah, things are gonna be fine. It's like, well, we need a game plan.
The ship's going down. No, we're good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. They'll come.
No, but yeah. No, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. Is there a specific type? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man, even I don't know. It's hard to put into words,
That's fine.
I guess, for me. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. How would you answer that? Is there about stuff that's internally for you kind of the same question to you, I guess?
Your spiritual evolution, I think, is very important.
Uh-huh.
Is extremely important, especially from my my background in terms of what I believe spiritually and faith-wise. I think that's critical. Your relationship with God and the divine. And when I say that, I don't mean like a man sitting in a tower somewhere, like a cloud, you know, kind of old man with a beard type of thing. That's very archaic and very small-minded to think that God would just be like that, you know. Obviously, it's something humans made up. But kind of this ever-pervasive force that connects everything in our universe and beyond. And it's so big and it's infinite that literally words are hard to do it justice. So your relationship with that divine force is really important. And I think that's built on, I'm not perfect either, but good moralities, you know. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't kill people, don't harm people. Kind of like that golden rule that's kind of in every single faith and religion, do unto others as, you know, you would have done unto you. Well, you would think everybody would go, okay, you know what? That's the one we really need to focus on because everyone says it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe those things to start off with.
That's good, though. I think it's all important. I feel a lot of it is just, being peace in turn with yourself inside, I guess, kind of like you said.
Inner peace?
Yeah, inner peace.
Which doesn't mean you're, you know, like, I'm happy all the time necessarily, but
even in those dark moments, you're still
you accept them for what they
able
are.
you're still able to accept and embrace and pull through.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be good times and bad times in life for sure. Yeah. Finding an anchor is difficult. That's why I enjoy meditation during hard times, because that's when I feel meditation is best useful for me. It's easy to meditate when things are good, you know. Money's coming in, you're working, all your relationships are good. It's easy to meditate, go to yoga, work out during those times. But when
down times.
Yeah, when those are the times it really matters that you go out and do those things. Kind of keep things in perspective. Just my opinion, though.
No, that's a good opinion, and I agree with that.
Yeah. We got a little real here.
Getting real here.
Yeah.
Keeping it 100. No, I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. I thought you would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. How did we come about to know each other? Just by happen chance, right? We ran into each other here.
It would have been here. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. At the party? Was it one of the parties that we first?
Oh, man. Would it have been the Halloween party?
Yeah, you were dressed as a surgeon?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was a surgeon. My girlfriend was dressed as the Blink-182 nurse from the album cover.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you dress up that night?
No, I had 2 auditions, and yeah.
Whatever your excuse is, you didn't dress up for our Halloween party.
Nope, I didn't. I dress up for a living. I don't really like to dress up for Halloween. I'm tired of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know. I don't care if other people do. I'm just not going to dress up. Yeah.
No, but that was a good party. But yeah, so I think maybe we met before then, but it would have been Idobi related somehow. It would have been something related to this facility.
Yeah. We do a little segment here called Current Events.
Okay.
Would you like to do current events with me?
Yes.
All right. Gentlemen, you ready for
Yes.
current events?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see the time. Okay, good. We're good. Cool. Yeah, what do we got?
Yeah, so a man facing marijuana possession charges decided to smoke marijuana in court. There's actually a wonderful video that goes with it. He was charged for drug possession. That one's an ad. You gotta keep scrolling down. There it is.
I
And
did see
to
this.
make like a protest about it, he decided it would be best if he lit a joint in front of the judge.
The man in that video, Spencer Boston.
One person that I talked to said that half of Wilson County
What is happening?
We had an ad
laughing
running.
at the matter. The other half, they're pretty ashamed. But when you
A courtroom loaded with people. Spencer Boston is called up to face the judge for a simple possession charge. Watch, while the judge is talking, he reaches in his jacket, grabs the joint, then lights it up.
When you go in a courtroom, it demands respect, and it was not given it yesterday. This is the first time in law enforcement I've seen something like this.
The whole scene takes less than 2 minutes. We don't have the audio, but Spencer makes it known he wants marijuana legalized.
I think he was trying to prove a point, but it went across the wrong way.
So when that happened,
Yeah, no shit. No shit, dude.
Yeah, he's trying to clearly say he wants marijuana legal, but not the way to do it. But what a headline. I saw that video
know.
and I was like, damn, son.
What's that? Like, what? I wonder what his best case scenario he thought was going to happen.
He's right. Let's legalize it. Yeah, everyone
Everybody's clapping.
in the courtroom.
What a hero.
Well, I bet he knew he was going to go viral, and he sure did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Next up. Oh, this pisses me off. Go ahead, Michael.
I saw this, yeah.
I guess what Hollywood Boulevard could look like with less space for cars.
Yeah, so it looks like they were pitching to the city if they redid, kind of amped up Hollywood Boulevard, which does need some touching up. I do not like Hollywood Boulevard. I don't think it's that cool of a spot. It smells like pee.
Mostly a tourist.
It looks like pee.
100%. 100%. And I'm gonna sound like an old man. The vagrants on there are like it's. I feel unsafe at night.
Oh, because you are unsafe at night in Hollywood. So they pitched this, and what does it do? It widens the sidewalk. It narrows the street towards only like 2 lanes.
Reduces car lanes and in some places possibly eliminate them to increase space for people taking in the sights and sounds on foot.
God, can you imagine? Yeah, good thing we don't have a traffic issue in this city. But
Thank
we
God.
do have to do something about Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, the heart of Hollywood, because
Do
it
we?
is terrible.
Do we?
Maybe not,
Thank you. Thank you.
but we do need to do something about our healthcare system.
Let's have a couple of cops run a beat down that road a few times. You know? How about that?
Just
Let's have more cops. I don't know.
we don't need to revamp the whole thing and make it look like a 4-star hotel.
It just annoys me when people are like wanting to take down lanes. Like,
Yeah, especially in Hollywood. It'd be interesting. I doubt that's going to even pass. If anything, I think they did pitch it as a concept, but is there any movement on that?
I don't think so.
no. Stupid as that. Who's Can we pull up who's responsible for that? I want to know the name and if they have a Twitter handle.
And it is a thought out idea. They did have that nice little photo, which looked better than.
I have to reopen it.
Dude,
Because
I bet it was someone who was gonna like pocket money from contractors.
That's what it always is. Come on, it all comes down to money.
Mitch O'Farrell,
Oh yeah, Mitch O'Farrell.
LA City Councilman.
Where does he live? I bet he lives somewhere west into the valley, deep into the valley.
Where it
west.
would never affect him.
No, yep, never.
It's like I never go to Hollywood, but it does. Hollywood. Whenever I have friends or family from in town and they say they want to go there, I'm just like, ugh. You're not gonna be that impressed, but we can go check it out and go get screamed at by some guy.
Oh
He lives in Atwater Village, East Hollywood, Echo Park,
All right.
Hollywood, Little Armenia, Mid Wilshire, Koreatown. So it is his district.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Touche.
Sorry, I thought you said he lived in all those areas.
Yeah, I thought that was-
Sorry. He's in the 13th district.
Gotcha.
He just hops around.
Oh yeah, he has 6 homes.
And here he is, if you want to.
Oh, you
There
actually-
he is.
At Mitch O'Farrell.
Oh, please tell me. Please click on that. I want to see the replies.
There are no
There
replies.
are no. There's one.
Safe,
Safe,
separate, protected bike lanes, I hope.
Oh God, that's what we need.
Dude, where's my phone? I'm gonna tweet at him before after this thing is done. Worst idea ever,
Watch, it's going to happen now. They're going to revamp Hollywood.
dude. Whatever. I'm rarely down there.
Yeah, me neither.
I get amped up about this stuff.
I guess it won't even affect me because I'm never down there.
Traffic stuff in this town gets me crazy. What do we got next?
Guess what today is? It's National Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day, and I participated, and it was great.
Did you know it was that day when you participated?
Yes.
I feel like every day there's 10 holidays that go on every day.
Yeah.
Social media has created every day. There's a million things. It's also probably National Don't Eat Ice Cream Day at the same time.
But you know what? One's better than the other.
You got to pick and choose.
And I picked the better one. So, are you guys going to participate?
No.
Today? Nope.
Well,
I mean, it is
it's
almost
too late
noon,
for
so-
breakfast.
It's never too late for second breakfast.
That's a fact, actually. I saw that once on Mythbusters, and they proved it. That's not true.
What else we got?
So in honor of the Super Bowl tomorrow,
Oh shit, that's right.
Fiona the Hippo predicts the Super Bowl win for the Kansas City Chiefs. So by Thursday,
Wait,
the listeners will know.
But wait, so let me see the headline of it.
Throws up
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
to predict who will win.
How do they get this? How do they get this thing to throw up?
So apparently that's how it works.
How do they get it to throw up?
They were initially just planning on
Having her go over to one.
her going over to one and just kind of tapping it, like booping it, and you can see she's doing it, but then she throws up on it, and they're like, "That's even better."
No, but I feel like that's the team that's gonna lose.
I know.
then.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like if she's like, okay, this
But
team.
her accuracy is
yeah.
not special because she has got about a 50% accuracy rate. But in 2018, she picked the Eagles over the Patriots, but last year picked the Rams over the Patriots.
Well, she doesn't even know what the hell she's doing.
Yeah.
So I guess
Why is this a thing?
the internet has created a monster.
I'm a little annoyed that this is a thing.
What? That a vomiting hippo is choosing who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Like it's taking that much space on the internet.
Hey, what about Groundhog Day? Or isn't that as silly too?
Yeah.
Wait, is that what the day is? I mean the day where the groundhog says if it's gonna. I've always thought that was kind of silly too.
I think it's silly as well. There's no science behind it, that's for sure.
But it's so fun. It's so fun.
Go eat another bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, I will.
You're so new to LA.
I'm not mad at everything yet.
He's like, that Holly Boulevard thing didn't sound too bad. That sounded kind of cool.
Oh shit. That's all?
That's all I got.
All right. Nick, this was very nice.
It was. We're best friends now.
Yeah. I got to know a little bit about you.
A little bit. There's a lot more. Let's work together. Be in a sketch of mine sometime. I'll send you mine. You can check them out.
Dude, I don't do the LA thing where I just say, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm letting you know. Email me whenever. I'm down. Let me check out the scripts.
Love it. I'll send you some of my old stuff to check out. My previous productions to check out.
Yeah,
They're
please.
pretty good and fun, yeah.
Yeah. I'm down. I'd love to work with you. And Nick Major Show.
The Nick Major Show, Tuesdays.
What for those who don't know what that is, what that's about? What can you give them a little breakdown on it?
It's just my radio show on Idobi. You can come sit in on it sometime. It's always live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And it's just talking about recent news stories, bringing in guests from actors, musicians, talking about their projects, doing movie reviews because I go to see movies a lot.
Oh, sweet.
And it's usually just me and a group of friends chatting, having a good time. We interact a lot with the people on Twitter listening as well, using the hashtag for the show. And it's just a fun hour of good times and a lot of news, too, because I love news. And it's definitely a backbone of the show is just discussing current events.
Yeah. I'm on my directorial debut with my brother's music video for his solo.
The one that you guys were shooting here a couple weeks back?
Yeah. That comes out February 14th, so maybe sometime after that.
Yeah.
I'd love to come on.
That sounds
share it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
I am in. Count me in. That'd be awesome. But really appreciate you having me today. It worked out perfect because I came in here this morning to get a little work done anyway too. So that worked out great.
The universe, man.
And here we are. Wrapping it up. Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, Nick, my pleasure, man. Anytime. Thanks, Idobi. Thanks, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you to you, all of our new listeners. We really appreciate you guys. Remember, Nick Major Show, Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time on Idobi Radio. Feel like it's a little loud. Yeah. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.